Hi, my name's Kim Diaz. Welcome to the Educational Solutions Parenting Go-To channel. This is segment 12 of the Human Canvas series, helping you to understand your child as much as you love them. Today we will be covering misbehavior goals and consequences, and then parenting tweens and teens. Each segment will range between 7 and 10 minutes in length and will focus on what to expect from your child and what you can do to make this childhood the best it can be for both of you. This information provides a general composite of parenting and the results of those parents who parent within those styles. These are not indicative of every parent or every child, but rather a format of reference. Please remember that this is a guideline for age and stage specifics. If your child shows signs of concern in any area of development, please contact your child's pediatrician for further consideration. Today's segment offers a lot of information, more than usual, so here we go. Well, here we are at the crossroads of what to do with that misbehavior that crops up on occasion while you're busy parenting. There are actual goals of misbehavior in children from early childhood through the teen years. Firstly, for attention, because even negative attention is better than none. Children of all ages can misbehave for attention. It's a way that they manipulate you to get what they want. And then, even for the second type, is power. Children can want to have the power over the parent. This comes to light in the permissive indulgent parental style that we discussed last week. The next two goals of misbehavior have deeper intent and are mostly seen in older children and teens. The third goal is revenge, the I'll show them approach to misbehavior. This is seen in older children as there is intent and purpose in that misbehavior. And lastly, the goal of displaying inadequacy. Tweens or teens display this in their low self-esteem. They just give up, so that the parent will give up as well. This can be seen in sports, schoolwork, or even in child's friendships. A parent can hound and push, but if inadequacy is shown by the child, a parent can tend to lighten up and eventually give up. The child thinks they win, even if it's a loss for them in their development and growth. Also, be aware that these four goals of misbehavior may be combined. As adults, we need to be aware that children, no matter their age, can be manipulative. With regard to what we just discussed about misbehavior goals, let's move on to the three types of consequences of those misbehaviors. Not all types are positive, though. The first type is arbitrary consequence. This relies on inflicting pain and fear and is usually unrelated to any priorly established rule the family might have made, like spanking a cranky child who doesn't know what to do about being tired. As this negative reaction by a parent happens, it is negative and punitive in nature and should be avoided as a consequence. The second type is the natural consequence. This allows an event to simply run its course, like catching a cold at an outside event when a child refuses to wear a coat. Although this may have an undesired result, the result happens naturally and will have an impact on what is learned and experienced. This can be a positive consequence if the child learns from their choice and reflects on it when confronted with a similar situation. Logical consequences is our third type. This involves forfeiting a privilege until responsibilities are met, like allowing a child to play when their set chores are done. This is also a positive consequence, especially when the child has had any input in deciding what their responsibilities are within the family and home. The only two types that really teach are the natural and the logical consequence types, with the natural being the most effective. Arbitrary consequences should be avoided as they are hurtful and demeaning. Now let's look at how a parent can counter the misbehavior goals we've discussed. If a child is seeking attention, the parent should become involved. If a child is seeking power, then the parent can look into the ways that the child can experience some independence as they gain control over their choices with positive results. If a child is seeking revenge, the parent can look into their own parenting style, making sure that they are being fair in their own ability and decision making, especially when dealing with siblings. Even though a parent may connect personality-wise with one of their children over the others, they should remain fair with all of them. Favoritism is a big no-no and can cause a severe and even lifelong destructive impact on sibling relationships. And lastly, if a child is displaying inadequacy, then a parent should find ways to say or show their child that they are competent, possibly following the child's lead on what they like and are good at, and then supporting their choices. With all this in mind, and I know it's a lot, your tween does want to communicate with you, if not in words, then in their actions. In this in-between stage of middle childhood and teenhood, what does your tween really want you to know? Well, they want you to know that they're not a little kid anymore, and they want you to catch them doing something right. They still want your guidance in helping them to make the right choices, but let them ask and just give them your thoughts, not your judgment on theirs. Make them feel safe. They have a lot of adult things on their mind these days, even though they might not tell you. They worry about bullying, abuse, school shootings, COVID-19, like all of us, social media, friendships, and so many other things as they look at the world around them. They still count on you, even if they don't say it. They need you to listen to them and to let them know how much they matter to you. Tell them you love them and spend quality time with them. Be that hug that they still need, and give it to them when they least expect it. It will assure them that they are loved and lovable. Then, when you think you've got it all figured out, your tween becomes a teen. And once again, you have to adjust to this next stage as well. Parenting goals for teens should include their overall health, their physical, mental, emotional, and psychological, and then their confidence, cooperation, and responsibility. This is a time to reflect on the parental styles and to remind yourself that giving in, the permissive indulgent style, could create a lack of respect. That giving orders, the authoritarian style, could create rebellion, but that giving choices, the authoritative style, creates rights, responsibility, and respect. Think, then choose wisely. When you are looking to implement behavioral change, be confident that it can be done. By following a few simple steps, you could be on your way to making the change and making it stick. Choose one target behavior at first. Discuss the behavior with your teen. Explain why the behavior is not acceptable, especially if there's safety involved. Offer the teen alternate options and choices. Choose a reward for a positive behavior and then choose a consequence for a negative behavior. Then implement and evaluate ongoing behaviors. See what's working and what isn't, and then make changes if necessary. Above all, remember that parenting can be like a game of baseball. The parent team and the child team. You've both had experience at practice. You both have swung and missed. You've both had hits, some stronger than others. On your worst days, you struck out. When things went your way, you hit a base hit. Sometimes you even stole a base. On your best days, you hit it out of the park and brought it home, and you scored big. You lost some, but you won some. But the memory will be in how you played. If you played your best, then you won. If you gave it your all, then you won. Here's to all you do to winning the series, the parenting series. There's a lot of innings, but with the right parenting choices, there can be a lot of winnings. Until next week's segment on the school, daycare, parent partnership, stay well, stay healthy, and batter up.